Hey guys, it's LNS here once again, bringing you yet another Rome 2 Total War Online Battle Commentary, and this video will be a really special video because my opponent here, apparently he's a racist guy, and you'll see why in a bit. So he brought a really cheesy army consisting of 10 gladiators and about 9 Triarii and his general's unit. So from the start I know that my chances of winning was pretty low, but I still try to give it a shot because it's a really cheesy army, and this is the kind of army that is going everywhere now in the game. This and the Macedonians, but at least the Macedonian pikeman army is a little bit more legit than this piece of shit, because it's really hard to win against Rome with gladiators and Praetorian Guard spam, and as well as this cheesy spam. So I brought a Verni. I brought like 7 Oathsworns to try and counter his build, but it wasn't enough. 7 Oathsworn, 2 spears, 3 noble cav, and my general being a noble cav unit as well. And you can see that his army is basically just double click all the way, which is really stupid, but I'm not complaining about that, as you can see why in a bit. So over here, I try to charge his cav to try and distract him while he's pushing up like that. I had to get my army in position before I could engage, and over here I decided to engage his army. Sent my Oathsworn into his spears. You can see how stupid he is by sending his general's bodyguard against my swords. Like, seriously, what the hell? So I get my frenzy off, my Oathsworns, and I'm preparing to get my cav in to do some hammer and anvil strikes. And you can see I've actually routed some of his units are already wavering, and now he sends in his gladiators. My Oathsworn are still holding up very well now. I can't really do hammer anvil because his back is protected by his 10 units of Triarii, but you can see overall the main battle line I'm kind of winning. But because he brought so many cheap ass gladiators, you can see how the tides change in just a bit. You can see I'm still winning over here on the left. I'm trying to get my cav in to help out. I get a good hammer and anvil here. You can see against his Triarii with its back facing my guys. And I also get a good charge over there on the left into his swords. And now is the point where my guys start getting exhausted, and his spam of gladiators start working to his advantage. Sorry about that. You can see I'm actually not doing that bad, but the number of gladiators is just too much for me. Like, there isn't any way that I can beat it, at least when I use a Verni. But I've been experimenting with Parthia and skirmish based army, and it's looking pretty good now. So in a few more videos I might actually show you guys what tactic I'm using for Parthia. But you can see now that my Oathsworn are starting to break down, which is actually pretty sad for me because they were doing so well. But they just can't handle so many freaking gladiators. It's really stupid. The gladiators only cost 550, and although they have 90 men, you can spam like a shit ton of them. So 180 men for 1,100 denarii for 2 units of gladiators, and they can beat my Oathsworn 2-on-1. So it's actually really stupid, but oh well. Hopefully CA change that. If not, I'll be thinking of some tactics to try and beat this kind of Roman rush build that everyone is bringing. So one of the ways that you can actually win a rush build is by bringing a pike army, but that's still badly enough. So now I want to draw from this game because I'm not gonna lose to this kind of cheesy ass build. So next smart thing to do is to run all my guys away. Some of you might disagree on what I'm doing, but some of you might know why and why I did this. It's because the army he brought is really cheesy, and It's really stupid. He didn't bring any cav, which is why now he's gonna be his downfall. I'm gonna run all my cav away because I still haven't lost any cav, and I'm gonna run 2 of my swords away. And this is basically I'm trying to make this game a draw. I still have quite a few number of units. I only have 2 sword units left. 2 after this guy. Yep, there you go. And I can see I'll skip some parts of this video, and you can see how he starts verbally abusing me, trying to abuse me verbally, but I don't really give a shit. And you can see once I skip the video in a bit, what he says. So over here he says, I'm gonna say, I told him if he wanted to fast forward to make this game a draw, and you can see what he says in a bit. Alright, look at on the top left. Lift up your weapons, we are coming. The only thing I'd like to ask you is an honorable battle. Should have thought about playing honorably if he before this match, before bringing a cheesy build. And he's like, "Oh, please give me an honorable battle. What are you doing? You want a draw? No way, mate." And he doesn't realize he doesn't have any cav unit while bringing this cheesy ass build. So now he's pissed. He says, "I'll effing get you." And I'm like, okay. You can't really get me. You can get my swords, but you can't get my cav. So he finally pressed the fast forward button. And I lost my sword there, but I still have my cav units, so it's impossible for him to win, and it's quite impossible for him to chase me down. There's a little bit of lag when I was recording, so that was my bad. I'll stop. And now he's really mad. He just gives up. And then he starts trying to be rude. But once again, some of you might not agree with what I'm doing here, but hey, at least I made a draw. Not my style, he said. And he starts using funny words with spacings everywhere. I don't usually do this. This is my first time doing this, but seriously, like this kind of cheesy army, if I can force a draw, I will force a draw, because some people have done this against me when I brought a legit army. They have like archers left and they just keep kiting, so I think it's a pretty legit tactic. And now he says he let me have a draw, which I thank him for that. He's crying like a baby when he can't catch my guys. And then this is the part where he becomes obnoxious and starts being a racist. You can see in a bit on the top left of the chat. Like, you can insult me all you want, but what's the point of being a racist to a country? You guys will see in a bit. He's really pissed. Like, it's not my fault he didn't bring any cav in his cheesy army, so I think I did pretty good forcing a draw. Now it starts being racist, and you guys can see what he types. He actually called me French for being coward, but oh well. Yep, you can see that. I'm not a frog, my friend. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Once again, some of you might not agree with what I'm doing,